And howdy, folks. This is your old pal, Uncle Al. Gotta stop drilling. I read some of your comments, and I still read some people's comments, and I think, that's your opinion. You go into the woods. All right, now, make sure it's your woods, but it's owned by nature and stuff. And then get a lawyer. I'm too poor. The judge is going to look at you like you're some kind of kook and you're going to be in a mental facility or out in the streets, either way. A lot of people don't realize on the west of the 100th meridian, a lot of territories that you think it's the woods and free land. Okay, from Washington to Oregon to the California border, that's all coastal woods. Oh, it's away from the coast. It's like I don't want to talk to these people. These people have no idea what environment they're in. How he's in a semi-temperate tropical rainforest. Okay, that's Vancouver Island, and that's the part of British Columbia. When you go further down from Washington to Oregon, all right, you just cut those states in half. One side is part of the Great Basin and the desert. The other side is coastal forest. If anybody, it's a forest inland, they have no idea what the hell they're talking about. The other part is a lot of those lands in the coastal forests of Oregon and Washington are owned either by timber companies, corporations, Indians, Native Americans, tribal lands, BLM, utilities, a whole bunch of string of other people. All right? Only Nevada is, I think, 5% state, 85% federal, and the rest is privately owned. That's not much. Okay? Washington and Oregon is kind of mishmash of state and federal and private lands. Okay? You better make sure you're not on state or federal, like this one bonehead in Oregon did. But yeah, I set up my bug out camp and my cache out there. Okay, he violated Native American tribal lands, desecrated one site, was on federal lands that was adjacent to the tribal lands, and was a wildlife preserve, and he set up an illegal structure there. Okay, he's looking at 7 to 40 years on various counts. Tribal, that's another. BLM, that's another. State forestry, fish and game. Just go down the list of every agency in Oregon. All right? You got to know where you're bugging out. Is it your land? All right? Is it your friend's land? Is it your club's land? Okay? You just cannot go blindly into the forest nowadays. There is no true wilderness. Okay? It belongs to somebody. Either the government, the state, local, private. And a lot of people, I'll sit up and it's SHTF. Okay? After SHTF, you're going to 7 to 40 years to prison. But I survived SHTF. You're going to prison. All right? Corsair trainer Steve over there did a whole series about this. You're going to prison after SHTF because you violated so many land rights, so many areas that you think it's wilderness. It isn't. A lot of people, I don't understand. I'll go into the cave. Okay, that's another thing. A lot of people, caves are free. All right, like that one idiot. I went to this cave and there was a lot of dung and I set it on fire. It saved my life. He's serving 10 years. He went into an archaeological site and destroyed 10,000 years of history by setting a fire and kept warm. But it was an emergency. So it was a couple $1 million worth of destruction. Alright? So make sure you know where you're bugging out. Alright? I tell a lot of people, take a GPS, track it, find it, who owns the property. If your bug out location hits in one of those things, state, federal, BLM, tribal, you're in trouble. Big trouble. Alright? If it's on transmission line areas, owned by the energy company, you could be found as a terrorist. But I had a bug outside. I was surviving. No, you're classified by Homeland Security as a menace, a terrorist, domestic terrorist. So you're trying to explain with your defense attorney that the state provides, and they say, confess. You'll get out in 20 or 40 years. So think about it. Where are you bugging out to? Alright? I keep telling this to people when they look at me, but is it evacuation? No. You're just running, again, back into the woods. Stop doing that. Alright, folks. I'll catch you later. Remember, think your plans over. Get a mentor. Ask them about it. Because a lot of you make a lot of mistakes and a lot of legal mistakes. Well, I'll just go out there and survive in the woods with my AR. You violated tribal lands. You violated, Fish and Game. And you also violated a wildlife preserve. And by the time the lawyer is going to get done, you're going to have a lawyer bill like, I don't have $500,000. Okay, then public defender, I can't be in prison for the next 40 to 50 years. Think about it. Alright, folks. I'll catch you later. You have a nice day. Remember, think what you're doing when you're evacuating or bugging out. A lot of you, your answers is totally wrong. Alright? So think about it. Go through it. Get a GPS. Check out your bug out location. Where is it at? Alright? Find out whose property it is. Alright, because I know one idiot in High Sierra is like, yeah, I'm out there and I set up a house and everything. They got bulldozer, knocked down the house, arrested him. He's still doing time in Chowchilla. And they said, I didn't know. I thought it was wilderness. So get a GPS and double check. Anyway, folks, I'll catch you later. You have a nice day. Remember, donate a can of food. Check out Cap Patton Family Compound. He's doing a live stream tonight. Also, David Lynn, Prepper Principal. Alright, I am running around today. I had to change my whole schedule. Next one, I'm going to do the bushcrafting book. Alright, because people ask me questions about bugging out into the woods. And I said, stop doing that unless you know what you're doing. Okay, and also stop going into caves. It's like, ew. It's like, oh God. It's like, you gotta stop this Rambo fantasy, whatever. You have to think it logically. If it isn't a real SHTF or just a regional disaster, you're in big water trouble. Alright, folks, I'll catch you later. You have a nice day. Remember, donate a can of food to your local food bank. Look at Howie. He donated foraged apples to his local food bank. Okay. Check out Idaho Garden Grill. Alright. A lot of people don't think when they're escaping disaster. The flea fear in their heads blinds us to everything. And then the fantasy takes over. I survived. And then the next thing is they're behind in a police car says, I survived. We don't care. We got to fill out paperwork, you kook. All right, folks. God bless. And I'll catch you later. You have a nice day. And God bless.